Perhaps 2010 marked the new chapter in the life of the city.
Is Vancouver 2010 responsible for the boom in the city's fastest growing neighborhoods? Andy Yan is the director of the city program for Simon Fraser University. It's his job to crunch these kinds of numbers and says some of today's hottest developments can be tracked back to the Olympics. And you might be surprised to learn just how far away that impact is reaching. The most obvious, of course, being this neighborhood right here in Vancouver's Olympic Village.
If you actually look at census numbers, the neighborhood actually went up 70% in terms of population growth, and that's from 2011 to 2016. So that's a sizable growth for the neighborhood.
Making it one of the city's fastest growing and one that's home to nearly 50% renters. Yan tells us one of the new challenges is the folks who originally got in are having children, and he's hearing residents are increasingly anxious about the lack of a nearby school. Meanwhile, another obvious Olympic boom zone would be surrounding the Olympic Oval in Richmond. There are a lot of parallels between the two, with the neighborhood also growing nearly 70% in the same time. The challenges here, however, are different.
The amount of empty homes, empty condos that are in that neighborhood, but then I think it also highlights the kind of development that was facilitated by the Olympics. There were effectively very, very few people living there prior to the Olympics.
But between the two neighborhoods lies a whole string of development that can be tracked to the Olympics. Everything from these medium-rise towers going up on Cambie to the planned redevelopment here at Oak Ridge Mall, right down to Marine Gateway.
So is that really kind of like thanks to the Canada line, I guess? Could trace that to the Canada line, all that Cambie growth?
I think so. I think that a lot of it is connected to the Canada line as well as a sizable planning process.
But he warns a lot of what's being built here today might not serve young families looking to set roots in the city so well.
It's also really expensive and isn't necessarily affordable for those with just local incomes.
But there is one more place booming today because of 2010. This one might not be so easy to guess.
The big surprise, then, is Squamish, isn't it?
Indeed.
With the redevelopment of the Sea to Sky and growth in Whistler, Squamish is quickly becoming almost a new suburb for those looking for family-friendly living with a more reasonable price tag.
It's actually about the same distance from Squamish as it is to, say, Langley. And people making especially with the improvements along the highway, that they see that kind of opportunity open.
In Vancouver, David Zura, City News.